that you have and taken for granted every day. Think about your right to an education. Think about your right to speak your mind and express yourself. Think about your rights to a life free of violence and humiliation. Now, take a second and picture yourself living in a place where those rights are no longer yours. Where those women have no idea what it would be like to have those rights. 90% of women are facing violence today, and 75% of women are married before the age of 16. Compare that to your life and the woman we just heard. Very big, different words. You live in a world of enlightenment and knowledge, where these people have been forced to live in a land of ignorance and darkness. Hope is an element that few people have, fewer even know of. You can see the contrast that exists between the lives that you have lived and the lives of many people that I'm living today. The life I lead up until my young adulthood. I was born and raised in Afghanistan and lived with my 6 sisters, my parents, and a brother until I was 19 years old. My family and I, we all lived in a big house and we were never separated from each other, no matter what the situation was. The war happening outside my house never stopped. I fell asleep every night listening to the sound of gunfire and rockets. I was only 9 years old when the Taliban took over Afghanistan in 1996, changed my life and the lives of everyone else in Afghanistan, especially the lives of women and children who are the biggest victim. Women's rights were not even terrible, it was not even existent. School was something that most children complain about going to. In my case, it was what I wanted more than anything. I wanted to leave my house and go to school, but it was not possible. I remember as a young girl spending every single day in the house for 6 years doing absolutely nothing. We had no TV or contact outside our house. Women and girls were not allowed to go outside unless we were with our father or brother. Not could I not only go to school, but I was not allowed even to study or read inside my house. By the order of the Taliban, not that the banning of education was not demeaning enough. Strict rules governed what women and girls were. The length of their burqa had to be appropriate. Completely their faces covered and not allowed to show an inch of their bodies exposed. Failure to comply meant physical punishment. I would never forget as a young girl getting beaten in the street by the Taliban for not wearing my burqa properly. Though all of these external rules and rights violation hurt us all, it made my family come closer together. I was very lucky to have my 3 older sisters who could play and study with me inside our home. My family stayed together no matter what the situation there was, and we slept in the same room because we were scared of losing one another. The Civil War created this big fear in my heart, the fear of losing a member of my family. Not only I feared losing of my father because I love him, but if he was to die, my family wouldn't be able to last because women were not allowed to work. Without him, my family would have no income. I lived all my childhood in fear. This is the story of my life and what I remember from my childhood. This was as terrible and encompassing as it may seem, was only the one side of the war. Let me tell you about the other side of the war, the side that really kept me alive. Hope. Hope for an education, hope for basic human rights, and hope for a better future. Hope is what helped me to make through all those years of oppression. When the regime fell apart, and I had a chance to taste a new-founded freedom, and with that, I fell in love with football. That's soccer for all the Americans. A very risky sport. Just the idea of playing soccer was not right for me. A sport that empowered me. It made me feel like I was strong and equal. All of this emerging in a society that had known none of them for quite some time for women. I was humiliated over and over again, and people tried to convince me to give up soccer, but I never did. I used their complaints and arguments as a fuel for the passion I have for the sport. Their opposition even made me stronger. My wonderful parents always supported me, all my decisions, no matter what. They were always there for me, and I'm eternally grateful for that. My parents' undenying support did not end with soccer. They supported me for getting an education. I never knew how important education was for me until it was taken away from me. My parents always emphasized the importance of education, and my mother told me, when we set our goals high and when we dream our dreams, the key to make the goals come true and the dreams is through education. It was the desire for education that actually drove me out of Afghanistan at the first place. I have been very lucky, and I'm very fortunate to be here in America and have the opportunity of getting an education. If it wasn't for soccer, I would have not made it to college. Through playing soccer and becoming a better player, I gained courage and hope. And through the courage and hope that allowed me to break free of bonds of my gender discrimination. I know from the outset that being an Afghan girl and playing soccer is not going to be an easy feat. I followed through and pushed on because of my passion for the game and love for the soccer. Through playing soccer, I gradually felt I was actually a person who could make my own decision, speak my mind, and be myself. At the same time, when I started playing soccer, I was literally the only girl who wanted to play soccer in a very deep conservative society. But however, I never played on a team, so one of the soccer coaches from the Football Federation helped me to recruit more girls from high schools, and by the end of 2006, we had 25 teams in Kabul and other cities. And also, we established the women's national soccer team for the first time in the history of Afghanistan. Eventually, I was named the captain of first Afghanistan national soccer team. I was honored and humbled at the thought of representing my oppressed and conservative country in such an empowering way as women playing soccer. I wanted to show the world that these women were different from the women that they pictured when they thought of Afghanistan. These women are not only playing soccer, but they are making history. We were harassed and threatened many times and to give up soccer, but we refused. We accepted the challenges not only for ourselves, but for the other women that we represented and gave hope to. Every time I step on a soccer field, I felt like there was nothing else exist around me. I was free and happy that I have never felt before. The hardest moment for me in this journey was playing soccer at the stadium, where women used to be executed and punished for moral crimes or running away from their abusive husbands. It was really hard to block this terrible history, but at the same time, conversely, it was this terrible history that motivated me to become a women's rights advocate everywhere. The main reason I started playing soccer was the competition and the prospect of winning. Soccer was an outlet for my emotions, my anger, and everything else that I had felt. I played for the winning and losing, which made me to understand that there is value in every single person and everyone deserves the best, regardless of their class, gender, race, and ethnicity. Soccer gave me the ability to look at the world completely from a different perspective, things that I would never imagined. After a while, it became a big part of my life that I couldn't imagine my life without it. It changed my life and the lives of everyone else and my teammates in Afghanistan who are all pursuing higher education now in various countries. My experience as a woman in sport has given me the determination and spirit that I have needed to call upon many times. I have learned that soccer builds confidence and sport in general have the ability to empower women. Join me in creating opportunities for women all over the world to become stronger and change their lives. Join me in creating more opportunities everywhere, all over the world. Everyone deserves the chance to live a better life, no matter what their circumstances are. Changes are not easy, but great things are preceded by great changes. Women are essential ingredients for democracy and peace that we hope for in this world. My hope is that I have inspired you to take an action and do your part to help ensure and promote women's rights and opportunities all over the world. I am one of many. My story is one of many more just like it. Still, I hope that my story will be a source of hope for women, for many young women who are dreaming of freedom and the freedom who they want to be. I hope that my story will encourage many young women where they are to follow their dreams, pursue their education, and do whatever else they want to do in order to break through the barriers that gender discrimination has made for them. Consider all the freedoms that you have in comparison to those women we just heard of. Please take a moment to reflect on this. What can you do to help someone experience the freedom that you have enjoyed every day? I encourage you to go out and help those women, in turn help the world. Thank you so much.